we had a main event that was just an absolute banger. I said it before the show, guys. If you are a fan of technical wrestling, if you are a fan of that back and forth struggle, the mat work, the technique, these two put on an absolute clinic. It was so good to see. And Daniel Garcia, Bryan Danielson said it best. There is that young Bryan Danielson vibe around Daniel Garcia, a guy who's no nonsense, who takes his in-ring work very seriously, who's very passionate about out wrestling his opponent. And these two guys just went back and forth. I love, and I know Bryan Danielson's probably your favorite wrestler of all time. He's up there. I know when we talk about Mount Rushmore, he's up there in that conversation. He's definitely showing a nasty side to him. This violence that he's been pushing,
craving it.
I love some of the. And again, we've seen a lot of violence in AEW. I mean, we've seen death matches. We've seen lights out, unsanctioned matches. We've seen it all. But when you have a guy like Bryan Danielson, who has an opponent locked in a submission hold, and then just booting them in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many times where he has a guy locked in. He did it to Garcia tonight. Locked in a hold, and he's just kicking him in the face, and he's hitting him in the face.
Yeah.
It's just a different level of violence. The guy is he's on his game, dude. He looks as good physically as he's looked in a long time, and he's got that swagger about him where he's trying to prove a point. Got to be eating this up as a big BD fan, huh?
Oh, absolutely, man. I think this was I'm liking how they set the stage for this match where it was promo, showing on another promo, then it sets for the main event. And the commentator team was hyping this match up insane, man. They were selling this match like it was, going out of stock. Could this be the match of the year? So highly anticipated. Oh my gosh, what a match. I mean, yes, it was a great match and one I was really looking forward to because Daniel Garcia is easily one of the more underrated in-ring performers in AEW.
Young,
and we are growing bigger and bigger fans of him every single week with what he's doing. And for him to get a main event spotlight was fantastic.
Huge.
And love the pairing with 2.0 that he gets because he has these over the top eccentric, tag team giving us all a taste. And then he can just be this serious guy.
Yes.
But yes, the great technical wrestling that we got out of this match, the striking that was trading back and forth, the constant, submission to submission to submission,
yes. Fluid.
Trading submissions back and forth. And then for Danielson to do another flex pin or flex victory tap out was absolutely just another kind of like a spit in the face, but just to show how he's just going through these young up and comers, just kind of like, yep, check them off the list. Another next victim because this was barely broke a sweat. But this one, well deserved main event by Daniel Garcia, absolutely hands down. I think I love the chop battles and I love the kicks battles. This match definitely featured SPD's chop of the night for sure.
Ooh,
and so
when
back and
Penta's
forth.
On the show.
I know Penta's on the show, but I honestly,
I agree.
There was some good chops in the Battle Royal. Dax can throw a mean chop as well.
Yes,
so definitely SPD's chop is the night. Did you love this main event like everyone else did? And then what the story happened after it?
Yeah. I'm a big Daniel Garcia believer. I think that he's one of the young guys on this roster. And again, easy to get lost in the shuffle when there's CM Punk and MJF and countless big names.
Sure.
But this is a kid who I see a ton of upside in. And for him to be able to go in the ring with Danielson, who I really think, let's remember, this was a guy when in his initial pitch to Moxley about teaming up, this was a guy that he mentioned. And there's a reason for that because he's got that approach, like you said, the no nonsense vibe to him that really it stands out in a company that has a ton of over the top characters. A guy who just kind of focuses in on getting dirty and doing the work and the grind. I like that hustler vibe to Garcia a lot. And it really was like the best of the past or present going against the future. I think there's a little bit of a baton passing here, and not official, obviously. There's a long way to go for Danielson's career, and Garcia is still, I think, going to take some time to really age and fill into his role.
Yeah.
But you could see this was one of those things where Danielson purposely wanted a match with this kid, and I could see him wanting to go in the ring with him to teach him a lesson, but for his own good. This was one of those things where Garcia, maybe some of it's because of his Team 2.0 friends, his teammates, but he can sometimes get off, and think that he's further ahead than he is. And this was a humbling a little bit. Like, you got a ways to go, kid, and I liked the story of this match. And the post-match, having Team 2.0 attack Danielson, I love that, like that 3-on-1. Those they've made that their trademark, the beatdowns. But for Moxley to make the save, and the way that they did it, it was so perfect. Wild Thing blaring over the loudspeakers, and Mox is just coming through the crowd, just a ball of fire, beats the crap out of everybody. Music's still playing while he's going off, and that paradigm shift that he delivered to Garcia, it was like a pile driver. It was unbelievable. He lifted the dude straight up and dropped him on his freaking head.
It was so great.
Really amazing stuff. And dude, like, here's the thing. You got Moxley and Danielson at the pay-per-view going one-on-one, which is going to be a home run match.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still dangling that carrot, buddy. They're still dangling that carrot will these two pair up? Will these two create that ultimate team that we saw a taste tonight? Mox made the save. Danielson then repaid the favor by grabbing the chair out of Garcia's hands, saving Mox from a chair shot. We got a taste of how great those two guys could be together. Really, like that alone. Another thing that AEW does so well is the layers of the story. You have so many things going on in this one now. The stage is set.
Mm-hmm.
Can Mox get the big win over Danielson, right? Can he be the guy? Can he finally check that one off of his bucket list, right? There's so much.
I know he hasn't been able to yet.